What's cracking, internet? Welcome to another long awaited, at least for us, episodes of the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Dallas, aka Barley Bartlett, and I again apologize in advance for any screaming you may hear coming from the distance in my house.
I'm Gabby, and it's pretty quiet over here.
I'm Colin, and I also don't have any screaming in my house. So Dallas, you might want to get that checked out.
What's going on over there, Dallas? I'm just kidding.
Ghost.
Definitely Ghost. And I'm Demi. And yeah, I'm kind of just chilling.
Must be nice.
It's very nice. Let's get this started. Welcome back to Quarantine Watch. This time we will be doing part 1 of our movie section.
Yeah.
Basically, we're just going to be talking about movies that we've been watching over the quarantine. We each chose 5. So let's get it popping. Dallas?
Yes, if you watch the TV episode or listen to it, because this is a podcast, then you know how this works. If you didn't listen to it because it was too long, then whatever, you'll figure it out. Anyway, where's my list? My first movie. Oh, I guess I'll explain what I'm doing. Like last time, I'm going to read a really brief description, see if they can guess it. They probably won't because there are a lot of movies and these aren't new movies. Anyway.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Some of them are new from...
Fair. No, I mean, mine aren't new.
Ah.
For the most part.
Let's get
Movie
it.
1. A fun coming-of-age comedy about drug dealing, depression, and at least one attempted suicide.
Coming of age comedy. Dope. I don't know.
No, there's no suicide in Dope.
Oh, damn it.
I was thinking it might be Dope until he said that one.
Mm.
Huh. That's okay. I don't think I
Yeah.
can get this one. It's very, very vague.
Dope.
Yeah.
No, it's not dope. I'm just saying dope because I said that a lot. Anyway, Charlie Bartlett.
I should have known.
I've never actually watched that movie.
Me
I kept
either.
saying I would because I love a lot of the actors in it.
Yeah,
That's a great
Anton Yelchin, rest in peace.
Yes.
A lot of Degrassi people in that movie too.
Yes. Charlie Bartlett is directed by John Pohl and written by Gustin Nash, who wrote Youth and Revolt, that weird Michael Cera movie from back in the day. It stars Anton Yelchin, rest in peace, Robert Downey Jr., Kat Dennings, and Drake, ?
What?
Yeah,
Robert
right?
Downey Jr.'s in that movie?
Yeah,
I know
he's
Drake's
like-
in it.
He's Kat Dennings' dad. He's like the principal of the school.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I knew that Drake was in it because I really wanted to watch that movie because there were several people from Degrassi on that movie.
Yeah, there are a lot of Degrassi people.
It's shot in Canada, so.
Ah, the Canadians. But yeah, Drake pops up. Anyway, it's a great cast, great movie. Anton Yelchin is insanely likable. And to me, he kind of seems like the OG Tom Holland to me.
Oh.
A little
I feel
bit,
like a
yeah.
lot of the
I
roles
get
I've
it.
seen him in is like, if that movie was made today, they would probably put Tom Holland. If Charlie Bartlett was made today, Tom Holland would definitely be Charlie Bartlett.
Yeah, 100%.
They have this scene where he talks to Robert Downey Jr. in Downey's backyard, and it's like the vibe is exactly Tony Stark talking to Peter in Homecoming when he's like lecturing him about the suit. It's just like, oh, it hit me. Also, Demi, I think you'd like this movie because it feels like the show Sex Education was kind of inspired by this story.
It probably was.
Yeah, but this is more about, it's not sex therapy, it's regular therapy.
Yeah.
I think in Sex Education is like his mom's a therapist and he's teaching the kids the stuff that she tells him or something.
Basically, I mean, yeah, his mom's a sex therapist and he's learned a lot because his mom is very open about sex. So,
Yes. So Charlie Bartlett, I didn't really tell you guys what it's about. He's a rich boy who wants to be popular, and his mom is kind of trash. She's not mean, but she's not great just as a mom. So he has some issues, and she's like, therapy, why not? He starts telling the therapist things in order to get drugs so he can deal drugs to his classmates.
Oh, wow.
I promise this is a comedy.
the come up.
So yeah, he'll do like the sex education thing. He'll have like therapy sessions in the bathroom, and then people will say things to him, and then he'll go tell his therapist that. The therapist will be like, you need Prozac or whatever, you need Zoloft, you need Xanax, and then he'll take those drugs, start dealing them to the kids, and then boom, he's popular because kids like drugs. One of the things about it is, obviously I watched it this year because that's what this episode is about, but I kind of wish I would have watched it back when it came out, because I think back then I could just enjoy it without thinking about how only a white kid could get away with all the stuff that Charlie does in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you're dealing drugs. You punch
diagnosed.
at least one faculty member in the face in the course of the movie. You're just wilding out. And Shout out to rich white privilege because that's the only reason you made it out of this movie, Charlie. But other than that, it's great. Anton Yelchin is always a treasure. Robert Downey Jr. is always great. Drake's there, if you're into that.
I like Kat Dennings.
Yeah, she's dope. I like her a lot. She's fun. Fun movie about drugs and depression. And we're moving on.
Gabby, what you got?
Ooh, okay, so with the release of HBO Max, they put a bunch of classic movies on, and so I started kind of going through the list a little bit, and I really liked Singing in the Rain as a kid. So I was like, what's another Gene Kelly movie? And they recommended An American in Paris, and I watched it, and it's delightful. I was mostly watching it for the tap dancing. It's pretty great. It's a pretty simple story plot, I guess.
Most old movies are.
Yeah, it's about this guy who he wants to be an artist, and he's an American, obviously. He's living in Paris trying to like sell his wares. And at the same time, there's this other rich man across town that has like this girlfriend, and she meets this American dude. And also the American dude, one day when he's selling his paintings, this rich lady comes by and she looks at his stuff and she wants to buy all of it. She's trying to like seduce him a little bit.
That's fun.
And he's like not into her because he's into old rich boy's girlfriend.
Of course.
It gets real romantic. And like most movies of that time, it doesn't get very dramatic when things pan out, right? People bow out politely. It's really great. I really like it because of the choreography and the dancing, and it's a really beautiful movie, and I like Gene Kelly. So I do recommend checking out like the classic stuff on HBO Max.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch a lot more classic films recently. I don't even remember if it was before the quarantine or during the quarantine. I watched His Girl Friday and Some Like It Hot. Yeah, old movies, man.
Old school.
Some Like It Hot is a good one.
Some Like It Hot is so good, but also watching Some Like It Hot made me realize how much of that story that they kind of borrowed from for White Chicks, which is really weird to say, but it's so true. Old movies are a delight, man. Old movies are the reason why we have the movies that we do today. And you learn a lot from watching them, but also like, yeah, they're really simple, but like they've got really great characters. The actors back then were really, really dope.
What I like about it is you can see where we got some tropes and some you can see the original version and like what everyone has since copied and evolved from. Not so much this movie, but like, you know, in Casablanca, you know, of all the gin joints in all the world, like also phrases that became popular because of those particular movies. It's just interesting to see the origins of particular things in our culture.
Yeah, my goal has been to watch a lot more old movies recently, especially because I love Rear Window. Rear Window is probably one of my favorite movies
I still
ever.
want to see that. I haven't seen it. I've seen Disturbia.
Oh my gosh.
But I haven't seen Rear Window.
Rear Window is one of my favorite movies. That movie made me love Grace Kelly.
That old man is good looking, man. He's
Sorry,
not that.
what?
Cary Grant's like plays an older gentleman, but like Cary Grant, like his career, he was just very attractive.
Wait, this
It's
is
not
Jimmy
Cary
Stewart.
Grant. It's not. It's Jimmy Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jimmy Stewart. Oh,
the other
same
Cary
thing.
Grant.
Same thing. Sorry, same thing. Sorry.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy
and-
Stewart's like charming. He's the one from the Christmas movie, the one where he's like, "I wish I didn't exist," and then it takes you through. Was it a Christmas? It's not a Christmas Story. It's
A Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life.
yeah, It's a Wonderful Life.
There were like 3 actors back then, and they all looked the same.
There weren't. There was actually a lot, and they actually made way more movies a year than we do now.
It was
It's
Jimmy
true. They
Stewart,
made
Cary
so many
Grant,
movies.
Humphrey Bogart.
You
the
got
tap
James
dancing ones.
Dean.
There was a lot more dudes. It's just there's certain movies that have like outlived time, so people really only think about those actors. But there was a lot more people working because there was a lot more movies being made at that point in time. We just don't really. I don't know. I started watching this YouTube channel that like goes back through and looks at film history from like the silent era to now and puts a lot of things in context and perspective. And
Yeah, you've also got Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon.
Oh, Jack
There's
Lemmon.
a
He's
lot.
Something Like It Hot, right?
Yeah, Jack Lemmon's in Some Like That with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there was a lot more that was being made back then.
Wait, Demi, is Some Like It Hot? What movie are you talking about right now?
Some Like It
Marilyn
Hot was
Monroe.
the one. We had the Marilyn Monroe movie where the two
No,
guys.
I mean like in the list. Where are you?
Oh, it's me talking about.
Oh, we're still on
American-
her list. Yeah, I was
Oh.
just mentioning that I don't
Okay.
even remember if I watched those movies during quarantine.
I got lost.
I'm sorry.
We're just talking about old movies in general at this point.
We just went down a rabbit hole.
Okay, we can move on.
Okay. Mine is not an old movie. Mine is actually a brand spanking new movie. Just came out on Netflix, The Old Guard.
Oh, I want to see that.
A covert team of immortal mercenaries are suddenly exposed and must now fight to keep their identity a secret, just as an unexpected new member is discovered. It's based on the graphic novel by Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez. It's directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, who has made movies that I just have grown up with. And it stars Charlize Theron, Kiki Lane, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Marwan Kenzari, aka Hot Jafar, Luca Marinelli, and Matthias Schoenaerts. Let me just say this. I liked this movie so much. I watched it twice the Friday that it came out.
Very
nice. Gracious.
I also, literally, it got to the end of the movie and it ends on, I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but it ends in a way that you know that they're planning to make a second one. And that scene, that little tag, I literally jumped out of my bed and started jumping up and down at the idea of what the second movie could be. I'm so excited at what a sequel could be.
Nice.
The movie also features, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. Veronica No?
No. If it's NGO, it's No.
Yeah, Veronica No. She is in, she was recently in Da 5 Bloods as Hanoi Hannah.
Ah.
Oh, I like her. Yeah. She's dope.
But she is also Paige Tico in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Yes. And so she also has a small role in this movie. This movie is so good. The action is it feels like it's a setup for something bigger, but that's okay with me because I feel like they do such a great job at creating these characters. And it's more focused on developing and acknowledging their dynamic as characters, more so than just okay, fight scene, fight scene, fight scene, fight scene. Even though the fight scenes are great too. The choreography on these fight scenes is really good. Charlize Theron literally is cementing herself as one of the most iconic action stars that we have. She is so good. She's great in this movie. Kiki Lane is really good too. I had never heard of her before this movie came out. And I like the dynamic between her and Charlize Theron's character, but also the character arc that she has to go through. Marwan Kenzari and Luca Marinelli are playing this gay couple that have been together since basically the Crusades. And they started out as being on the opposite sides of the Crusade Wars. So they were initially fighting each other and then they fell in love. And it's, Marwan Kenzari gives one of the greatest romantic speeches that I've heard in film in a long time. It is so good. I really like this movie. Gina Prince Bythewood, I believe, is the first Black woman to direct a comic book film.
Wow.
And she does a magnificent job. And she's got range, man. This is a woman who made Love and Basketball, which I watched as a kid, obviously, because my parents used to watch it. And then she did The Secret Life of Bees, which I also really enjoyed. She did Beyond the Lights, which I love, where Gugu Mbatha-Raw plays a very hypersexualized pop star. And that movie is really good. And then now she's done this, which is so different from anything that she's ever done. Please make the sequel. I need to have a sequel. I need to know what happens next. I really want to keep up with these characters because I really enjoy them. I really think they're great. And I mean, you left it on a note that makes it perfect for a sequel. So I need that. I need it in my life. The script was written by Greg Rucka, who created the comic and wrote the comic. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice. Interesting choice.
But yeah,
he's written for Wonder Woman before.
Yeah. So I love this movie. I think I don't think it's the greatest comic book movie that's ever been made. I just think it's really fun and it's really exciting to have, something new and something original. I'm also a sucker for stories about immortality, and immortal soldiers is kind of a cool concept. Also, start giving Black directors more things to more genres to direct, man. This just proves even further that we can do any type of genre you throw at us.
That's true. We're great at everything.
We're great at everything. We have the capability, we have the capacity, we have the talent, we have the range, and this is just further proof of that. So just let us do it. Also, the soundtrack on this movie is killer. There are some people who said that the soundtrack took them out of it. I thought the soundtrack was cool. I think it's dope. Good story, great characters, great stunt choreography. There's a little bit of gun fu in there.
That's fun.
Actually, there's quite a bit of gun fu. The guy who plays Dudley Dursley is in this movie, and I didn't realize it until after I'd finished it.
Was he a good guy or a bad guy?
No, he's a bad guy.
Wow.
But yeah, the Old Guard. It is on Netflix. It just came out this month because I don't know when we're putting this out, except sometime this month. So
Fair.
Yeah, so definitely check out the Old Guard. I would highly recommend it. It's probably one of my favorite movies of this year. I wish I could have seen it on a big screen.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I have a question about the Old Guard. Was it originally slated to be released on the big screen, or was it always going to be a Netflix movie?
No, it wasn't. I think it was always a Netflix film, but that's kind of disappointing because I would have loved to have seen it on a big screen. Also, I was thinking the director of this was also supposed to direct, well, she's slated to direct Black and Silver, the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie.
Oh, snap.
Which doesn't look like it's happening anymore.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen. I'd watch it if it did.
I think she said that Sony told her that they're afraid that it won't work without Spider-Man.
Womp womp.
Which makes me sad because after watching this movie, the only reason I was interested in that movie in the first place was the fact that she was going to direct it. If her not making that movie means I get more of the Old Guard movies made by her, then I'm okay with it.
Fair.
I'm not a big fan of Sony's universe anyway.
You could make it work. Silver Sable's dope. Black Cat is dope. But
I agree.
Also, I want to talk about, you said how they should let Black people do more genres. It just reminds me of like when sports got integrated and then Black people became the best at every sport. Like, I just feel like if they let us into every genre, then we're like, oh, well, Jordan Peele is making the best horror movies and Ryan Coogler is making the best superhero movies. They're taking over again.
Who cares? It should be the best of the best. Like,
I mean, if anything, that just pushes other people to step up their game. Like,
also, like, the reason that people of color are doing so well is because they bring a completely new perspective, right? We're used to only seeing the white man's perspective. So literally anything else seems like fresh and like innovative and like brand new.
Yeah, they're like, ooh.
And low key is,
Marvel.
but like it's because we're used to one thing. So when you vary things, it immediately ups the ante on it. Like everything.
And I think that's what adds to the Old Guard as well, because Kiki Lane is playing. I mean, Kiki Lane is Black, so she's playing this young woman who is thrown into this supernatural world, and so there's not like, it's not like super direct about race and stuff like that, but like there are some gender and race politics. Mainstream movies for years have been like marketing themselves with, look, we got a gay character, but like there's nothing really substantial there. And I know that we've talked about this in our group chat before, but this movie didn't market itself that way. It just did what it did. I think more movies should do that.
Yeah.
Dallas, what's next on your list? Because I went for a long time on the Old Guard, but I had questions to answer.
True, fair. Next on the list, hint. It's like Danny Phantom meets The Sixth Sense, but it's also not like either of those movies or shows.
No, I definitely don't know what this is.
I said it's like Danny Phantom meets The Sixth Sense, but also not like either of those.
Danny Phantom meets
that's
the
like
Sixth
the
Sense.
worst hint I think I've ever heard anyone give for anything.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't for you. Forgot you were here. Gabby, do you have a guess?
Oh, wow. Well,
Casper? I don't know.
excuse me, princess.
Did you watch a Casper movie?
No. Odd Thomas.
What is that?
I've heard of that movie. Yes. Is that
Yeah.
another Anton movie?
It is. We were watching Anton
Is this
movies
like
that night.
you just hitting up your sister-in-law's greatest hits?
What?
Basically.
No. Well, kind of. Well, Charlie Bartlett was because Kayla had told me about it before, and we decided to watch it. And then we were like, Anton Yelchin's amazing. Let's watch another Anton movie. So then we watched Odd Thomas. It is written and directed by Stephen Sommers, who made The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and Van Helsing. So, you know, he's kind of got a vibe to his work.
There's a style.
Yeah. It stars Anton Yelchin, Addison Timlin, Gugulethu Mbatha-Raw, and Willem Dafoe.
Gugu's in that movie?
She is. She
Oh, snap.
She works with Odd.
I didn't know that. That must have been
She's good.
before she was like famous.
Well, this was 2013.
Yep,
Yeah, that was
2013
before
is
she
when
was
it-
like famous. That
Yeah.
was when she was starting to get a little popular, but she wasn't quite there yet.
It was before we knew her full name.
I mean, I knew who she was because I'd been watching Doctor Who, but I don't know if the rest of the world knew who she was yet.
Yeah, I
Wait,
didn't
she was
know
on
it
Doctor
until-
Who.
She played Martha Jones' sister.
Oh, okay.
I just knew her from
Dude.
Concussion, and then I was like, oh, she's dope. Gugulethu.
Martha Jones being on Sense8 messed with me. I straight up did not recognize her.
Yeah, because I think Gugu ended up doing Beyond the Lights a year later, 2 years later.
Maybe.
Anyway, Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas. It's a Dean Koontz book.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. It's about a cook. He lives in a California desert town, and he has clairvoyant abilities. He can see ghosts, like Sixth Sense, but then he also kind of fights creatures like Danny Phantom.
Gotta catch them all because he's Danny Phantom.
Yeah. He can see ghosts who have been murdered and such, and then he uses information to catch the people who did the things. That's where Willem Dafoe comes in. He's a sheriff, and he knows about Odd because when you're actually doing stuff like this, it helps to have someone who knows that can actually help you, because he can actually cover for him and use his information to catch bad guys. Unlike freaking... Never mind. Sorry, I just get kind of frustrated with characters like Spider-Man who don't have anybody helping them on the inside. To the video game when he did. I'm getting off topic. This movie...
And the recent movies he does.
Hmm?
Well, not on the inside, but like he has someone helping him. He's got the guy in the chair, so that's something.
Oh, no, you always got to have the guy in the chair. I mean, like, you know how in the game he has Watanabe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That's a lot more helpful.
I see what you're saying.
But anyway, back to Odd Thomas. It's a very interesting movie. I feel like the main attraction for me was that Anton was in it because, you know, he's a treasure, as I keep saying. Also, Addison Timlin is an actress I was not familiar with before this, but she's delightful. She plays his girlfriend, Stormy. They just have, like, a lovely relationship. It's very happy, despite all the weird ghosts and creatures circling them. She knows what he's all about. She's helpful. She's supportive. Relationship goes low-key. But yeah, it's lots of twists, turns, ghosts, weird carnage demons that, like, are invisible except to certain people. But then if they find out you can see them, they kill you. It's weird. I don't know if I'd recommend it. But if you're into, you know, The Mummy, Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, kind of like dark, action-y kind of stuff.
I do love all of those movies.
Yeah, I think you would like it. I think you could get into it.
I mean, Gugu's in it, so now I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, get up in that. I think you like it. Also, Gabby, it has murder, so I think you might like it too.
Well, there were ghosts involved, so yes, somebody had to get murked.
Exactly. I like true crime in terms of murder. I don't know about just like murder in general.
She likes the true crime portion.
So she likes murder, but only if it actually happened.
Yeah, she can't get down with fictional murder. She needs that real stuff.
She likes the psychology, guys. She likes the psychology.
She said it. She specified true crime. True. Yeah.
True.
Gotta have actually happened.
I don't just like murder in general.
Gabby, what's the next movie on your list?
I hate you guys. I hate everything. The next movie on my list, because like I said, I went back a little bit to watch some old stuff. They announced that they were remaking Little Shop of Horrors, and I was like, yo, I've never seen the real one.
The real one.
Or like the original one with, I think his name is Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis. I've never seen it, so let's see it. And it was a wild ride.
Oh, it is.
I did not think it was. I mean, it's called Little Shop of Horrors. I just didn't know what that entailed. And it was wild. And also, the evil plant in that is in Harley Quinn.
Brief tangent. Demi, didn't y'all perform that or part of it at some point in our high school career?
We did. Senior year of high school, we performed some of it. That was the reason why I watched it initially. I watched it my senior year of high school so that I knew what we were doing for the show. And whoo, buddy.
It's a lot.
That plant scared me for a while.
Yeah, okay. That's the same plant that's in Harley Quinn, right?
What? I think that's what it's referencing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that plant.
Yeah, I'm sure most Venus flytrap, whatever plants that do stuff like they do in Little Shop
like has a voice that's very similar. It feels like
yeah, but his name is Frank. It's a different name.
That is true.
But it's a reference.
I don't think they would name it Audrey.
Audrey too.
Anyway, Little Shop of Horrors.
The dentist, holy moly, he was evil.
And you're only talking about the dentist because that's who Chris Evans is playing.
Yep. And I was like, oh no, but also yes. I love when Chris Evans goes back to his asshole roots.
Oh snap. I didn't realize that Billy Porter is playing Audrey too. I'm hyped now.
Yeah, I'm so hyped. That's why I watched it. I was like, what is this thing?
I recently discovered that I've been listening to Billy Porter sing since I was a child and did not realize it.
What? Like, which songs?
My mom used to play Billy Porter's music. My mom used to know Billy Porter.
What? Your parents know so many people.
Me and Drew apparently used to listen to his music, and Drew used to sing it word for word. She played it a couple weeks ago when we were hanging out as a family, and I just remembered the song, and I didn't realize that it was Billy Porter. So now I'm really excited to see him in this and in the Cinderella movie that he's doing.
I didn't know he was doing a Cinderella movie.
He's playing Camila Cabello's fairy godmother.
That's going to be exciting. Okay, so, but yeah, I watched this movie. It just, first of all, it made me really miss Rick Moranis. Like, I love him.
He's on Disney's Prop Culture on an episode, so you should check that out. But yes, Rick Moranis is great.
Great, because I love him, and it just really made me miss him. And this movie is very dark, though. I still haven't quite figured out if I like it or not because of just how dark it goes. Like, the plant is like a man-eating plant, but they need to keep feeding it because it's what brings money in, and then it starts eating everyone who loves.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, and then it starts talking, and I was like, what? Oh god, it's just really weird. And then there's like domestic abuse. Like, it's just like
it is campy and dark.
It's very campy. Yes, camp is like yes, and extremely dark. I think I am looking forward to the remake, but
I'm curious.
Yeah,
it's got Chris Evans. You're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am.
It's also got Scarlett Johansson, so I'm looking forward to it.
But that's the thing. I heard that maybe it's not Scarlett Johansson. Maybe it's Lily James now. So, because nothing's confirmed.
She's still on the IMDb page, so I'm just gonna stick with Scarlett for now.
Cool.
Either way, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
On screen.
And yeah, it was a really good movie, but I don't know if I like it. But it was interesting enough to make it on this list.
I feel like, does it need to be remade? No. Am I gonna watch the remake? Absolutely.
Oh, what I did want to highlight was the chorus singers.
Yes.
2 out of the 3 of them are like, I was like, I know who that is, kind of. Let me look up their names.
Oh, no. It's Tisha Campbell Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tashina Arnold and Michelle Weeks.
Yes.
Wow.
I thought, they're just going to be in this little beginning bit. No, they're in the whole movie. They were my favorite part.
They're kind of like the muses. And Tashina and Tisha's voices, this was when I learned that they could sing because I'd been watching them for years on Martin. Bro, they're fire.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really glad that they were in the entire movie because they were my favorite part of the beginning.
It's a great musical.
Yes, but like I said, I still don't know if I like it or not.
I like it. It's weird.
But it's weird enough that like I wanted to mention it, and it's on HBO Max.
Cool. The next thing on my list is Love, Wedding, Repeat.
It's on my list too, and it's my next one too.
Okay, let's talk about this. It's on Netflix. So while trying to make his sister's wedding day go smoothly, Jack finds himself juggling an angry ex-girlfriend, an uninvited guest with a secret, a misplaced sleep sedative, and the girl that got away in alternate versions of the same day. It's a remake of the French film Plan de Table, and it's directed by Dean Craig, and it stars Sam Claflin, who is on his Hugh Grant game, Olivia Munn, Frida Pinto, Eleanor Tomlinson, Joel Fry, Jack Farthing, Tim Key, and Alan Mustafa.
So many great people. Can I talk about this? Just mention one thing really quick. It's like, you know that episode of Community with the dice roll and then there's just different timelines? That's what this movie is. It's like somebody took that concept and made it into a movie, kind of.
I mean, technically, I think Community probably took it from Plan de Table.
Oh, is that an older movie?
That's the original movie that they remade, yeah. I don't know. Plan de Table is from 2012.
Maybe because Community came out with that like either in 2012 or 2013, right around there.
Hey,
so yeah,
you know what?
Right.
People can have the same idea at the same time. Anyway, but the point is, this movie, Love, Wedding, Repeat, I personally just thought it was like a pretty average rom-com. But like, if you like rom-coms, I feel like you would like it. I came to this movie for Frida Pinto, and she's literally the best part of this movie for me. So it works out.
She's hilarious.
I love her in this movie. I've never seen her play a character who's so like awful.
Yes.
She's so mean. Yeah, she's so mean and snarky in this movie. And I was just like, I'm not used to this because Frida's usually very gentle and very like, even on she was on Aaron Paul's show about cults or whatever. She was on that. And even then she was kind of manipulative and conniving on that show. But like this movie, she's just straight up mean.
Yeah, I love it.
But I also kind of felt for her. And I kind of was angry that the movie, I never felt gave her any closure.
Yeah.
Because it was very clear that she's still in love with Sam Claflin's character. And I was almost rooting for her for a second there, despite her being awful.
I wasn't. She was mean the whole time.
I think there was something not in the writing, but in Frida's performance that made me kind of feel for her. Because I was like, you're awful, but you're being awful because you're still hurt. And also, the guy that she was currently dating was even worse than she was. And I was just like, I don't want you with him. That's for certain. I was like, I don't care how awful you are. Nobody deserves to be with that. But yeah, Sam Claflin is really like channeling Hugh Grant in this movie. Like rom-com 90s, early 2000s Hugh Grant.
And like awkward, bumbling, like
yes,
everything awful's going wrong. And then, I don't know. I was watching this movie for Sam Claflin and Olivia Munn.
They were part of the reason I was watching it.
Yeah. Once again, I did not get enough Olivia Munn. Like, which
bro.
I was in every movie.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that kind of goes with the plot though, because the entire time he's trying to get to Olivia Munn, he's trying to get the girl, but things keep distracting him, so she feels like she's being neglected by him when really he's trying his best, but he just can't do it.
He's just trying to make it work.
Also, Joel Fry, who I've talked about it on this podcast. I love him. He's also really funny in this movie.
He's amazing.
I love him.
He's like peak Joel Fry. I feel like, you know what makes me sad though? I want to see him in something more serious again. Like we started with him being something serious on Game of Thrones, and now it's just like slapstick characters. Like
he's
I want to see him.
Funny though. But we'll see what happens we'll see what they do with Cruella de Vil, because those characters are slapstick in the animated movies, but we'll see if they make them a little bit more serious in the live action.
See.
But I love him in this movie. Yeah, him and Frida Pinto really just made this movie for me, and I was really impressed with Sam Claflin basically being Hugh Grant for a whole movie.
Yeah, that was great. That was delightful.
Yeah. And I thought it was really fun watching the different versions of the same day play out.
Yeah. Oh, like the premise of the day is this dude is trying to make his sister's wedding go off without a hitch, and then this dude shows up, and it turns
her
out
ex-boyfriend shows up, and is just like about to basically blackmails her. He's about to ruin her wedding day, and so she enlists her brother to basically drug him to put him to sleep so that he won't ruin her wedding day. And things it goes through several different ways that day could go.
Well, what happens is like somebody puts the drug in a champagne flute.
It basically goes through every day that could happen if it ended up in the wrong drink.
Yeah. Or like with the wrong person sitting at that champagne flute. Because what happens is a group of children go by, grab the note cards with the assigned names, and move them all over that particular table. So then you don't know which glass is the one with the sedative in it.
Well, no, I think you know which one is the one with the sedative in it. You don't know who's going to sit where.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the movie's all about basically chance and fate and how there is a number of different ways that life can work out. It's basically the theme of the movie. But it's a rom-com at its core. So if you're into those, I think you would like it.
Yeah, it's delightful. I loved it. And it's on Netflix.
Dallas, what's next on your list? Because we went through what's next on Gabby's list.
That's true.
So does that bring it back around to me after you're done with yours?
I guess it does.
So.
Cool. I didn't think that was going to happen today.
I didn't either.
So I was looking at my list, and it's funny that Colin pointed out how bad my last hint was, because I was like, some of these aren't even hints. They're just things, like ways I would describe the movie.
Okay.
This next one is no kind of hint. It's just the way I would describe the movie. Basically, this one is Florida, the documentary.
I don't want to know.
But you're really not going to want to know.
Is it the clown movie?
It is the clown movie. Clown? Yes, you got it right.
What are you talking about?
How did you guess that?
I don't know.
What's it called? What is
I think it's the only documentary I know about Florida.
That makes sense. So, yes, it's called Wrinkles the Clown.
Yes.
No.
And to me, if you didn't want to know before, you're really not going to want to know now. So this is a documentary directed by Michael Beach Nichols, who's done some stuff I've never heard of. First off, this takes place in Florida, because of course it does. The film follows a man known as Wrinkles the Clown. He lives in Florida, and for a fee, he will attend birthdays and scare kids. That's basically what this documentary is about.
I hate everything about this.
Yes.
Let me send you the like what comes up when you Google it, because it's horrible.
No, I know what happens when you look it up. I've seen it before. I know what it is. I've seen it, Gabby. Don't send it.
It's about a clown in Florida who basically he gets paid by parents to scare their children when the kids are being bad.
I don't like it.
And
that's horrible.
I saw that trailer and I was like, this is the most Florida thing I've ever heard, but I have to see it. And
it's so cruel.
I can't give away too much, but it's weird because like halfway through the documentary, it kind of takes a turn that on one hand, it adds an interesting layer to the documentary. But on the other hand, it kind of makes the first half of the documentary feel pointless. Like, why would we watch all that if this is where you're really going?
Oh, okay, get it.
Yeah, so like as a documentary, it's maybe not the best because it's like the first half didn't even really matter. But it was definitely entertaining. Watching a story about a Florida clown who scares people for money. It's like a mercenary clown. And like, you guys remember the clown things that were going on a few years ago?
I hated that segment of that year. I was in my dorm room at one point and there was like a text going around saying that there was one by the library and I lived across the street from the library. I hated it.
So now that I know that, to me, I would recommend this movie for you. Personally.
No. No. I hate everything about this.
It's just, yeah, like, there's not much else I can say about it. It's just like, I'm glad this documentary exists because it's the kind of weird niche thing that I would watch a documentary about. It's like some old guy just scaring people for money because that might as well happen. It's Florida. Why not? So yeah, if you're just into weird stuff, watch that movie. If you're afraid of clowns, why would you watch it? Moving on.
Oh, I guess it's my turn again, huh?
Yeah, it's your turn again to me.
All right, so next up on my list is Scoob.
Scoob.
Scooby and the gang face their most challenging mystery ever, a plot to unleash the ghost dog Cerberus upon the world. As they race to stop this dogpocalypse, the gang discovers that Scooby has an epic destiny greater than anyone imagined. It's directed by Tony Cervone, and it stars Will Forte, Frank Welker, Zac Efron, Amanda Seyfried, Gina Rodriguez, Mark Wahlberg, Kiersey Clemons, Ken Jeong, Jason Isaacs, and Tracy Morgan.
It's a stacked cast.
Wow.
Also, Demi, I have to make one correction. It's Gina Niggas Give Me Heebie-Jeebies Rodriguez.
Ooh, I'm not gonna comment on that. Anyway,
okay, one more thing.
Wait, is that what she said on the radio that she got?
That's the song that she was singing.
That's the song she was singing along with.
Okay, so when the cast came out, we all thought of the Niggas Give Me Heebie-Jinkies, right?
No, 100%. I don't think cool. I thought of it on my own, but I saw people pointing it out, and it was like, oh, yeah, of course.
It's perfect. Of course. But yeah, proceed.
Oh, honey bunny.
Anyway, I was super excited about this movie because I really just want a big Hanna-Barbera on the big screen universe, and I'm not going to get it because it came out on streaming instead because of the virus.
The virus.
And even then, I think that this movie is like not the best Scooby-Doo movie. It's pretty average, but I enjoyed myself. I watched it with a bunch of kids at a birthday party. Not a bunch of kids. I watched it with like 4. That's not a bunch. It's a handful.
Yeah, it's like a handful. It's a litter of kids.
It's a handful. It was cute. I thought the story was interesting. I felt like it was less of a mystery. Like usually Scooby-Doo's kind of like a mystery. This felt more like an adventure movie. And for most of the movie, the Scooby Gang's kind of split up, which made me kind of sad. I really wanted like the Scooby Gang to be all together. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like the cast is definitely stacked. It's a decent kids movie. Like if you got kids around, I'm sure that they would love it. I really loved the animation style on this one. And I loved the connection to other Hanna-Barbera characters. I love that Dick Dastardly is in it. I love that
what a name.
Captain Caveman's in. Yeah. I mean, this is back in like the 40s, 50s.
Yeah, some 50s or 60s, I think. What are those old times?
And then Dino Mutt's in it. And like, yeah, I just love that it had all these connections. I freaked out because during the credits, they showed Jabberjaw. And like, I freaking love Jabberjaw. He's basically the shark version of Scooby-Doo. And it's great.
Yeah, it's true.
And nobody ever knows what I'm talking about when I talk about Jabberjaw. You've never seen Jabberjaw?
I remember.
I shouldn't be surprised at this point.
Actually, let me see because I may have. We used to watch Hanna-Barbera every night. It was like the one thing. It was the one thing that my parents. Oh my god! Yes, I do know what Jabberjaw is.
Jabberjaw is awesome. Yes, I love Jabberjaw.
And then the songs. Yes, I love the band he would perform in. Yes. Yeah. No, I love that.
I loved Jabberjaw. I loved Scooby-Doo growing up. I loved Jabberjaw. Like, I loved these cartoons as a kid. So I really wanted a modern day version of these for this generation to watch, because I feel like they don't really watch them as much anymore. Like, they get Scooby-Doo movies every so often and Scooby-Doo TV shows, but like the rest of those characters, bro, I was just super excited about this universe.
Yeah, the reason we watched this is because they had these cartoons.
We had Boomerang.
Well, yeah, but my parents had seen these in Latin America, so it was like something that we could all had common ground over.
Yeah, no, I just used to watch them on Cartoon Network and Boomerang. So like,
Colin, did you watch Jabberjaw?
I don't think so.
I think you'd like it. You like sharks.
Yeah, that's true.
There were new cartoons to watch. Why would I watch the old ones?
See, that's a weird thing, because like we're talking about these really, really old cartoons that for some reason we all watched, even though they were from like 50 years ago.
I think it's because they started rerunning them when we were kids. Because we also, like, Looney Tunes came back to being super popular when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what it was is, like, Disney was putting out a lot of really good cartoons at the time, and other networks were like, well, we're not producing stuff at the same rate that Disney is, but we have this whole back catalog of stuff. So that's how we're going to compete with Disney. I think that's what happened.
Scooby-Doo never lost popularity. Scooby-Doo has consistently had a new cartoon series every few years.
It's been popping forever.
It's just that the others didn't.
Dude, the Pup Named Scooby-Doo.
A Pup Named Scooby-Doo was one of my favorites.
Oh my god, I love that show. It was amazing. I love that there was a dance break in the middle of every single episode that included the monster.
I loved The Pup Named Scooby-Doo. I loved 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which nobody ever knows either.
No, I know that one. I just don't think I ever watched it. But also, What's New Scooby-Doo was great.
Like
had a dope theme song.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is consistently like reinventing itself, but the other cartoons in the Hanna-Barbera universe don't. Like, if we could get a Johnny Quest movie, bruh, I'd be so down. Johnny Quest is dope.
That would be fun. From what I remember, I think they might have to examine the way they handle Haji.
You would have to examine some things, obviously, but like, that's the fun in modernizing some of these old cartoons is getting to look back and see the things that would nowadays be problematic and go, okay, well, how can we creatively make this better and more fitting for the generation that is watching it now?
Less racist.
Exactly.
Less racist.
Well, you don't. Never mind. Anyway,
you don't what? Where are you going?
No. So yeah, so Scoob was pretty fun, and you should check it out. It's very much about Scooby and Shaggy's friendship and how deep it goes. I still wish that Matthew Lillard was playing Shaggy though, because that's my Shaggy.
Is he the one from the live action from when we were
Yes. And he's been playing, but he's also been playing Shaggy ever since until this movie.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't tell him that they were recasting, which makes me sad.
He used to come into our job back when our job existed.
I've never seen him. Oh man.
I've seen him a few times. It's like, hey, Shaggy. But you know.
Shaggy. All right, next movie, Dallas.
Wait. You said that they split up a lot. And you didn't like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they always do?
That's like the kind of thing that Fred is like, yeah, we're going to split up so I can...
Yeah, but they like... the movie... But like on an episode of
Dallas?
TV, that's maybe
Dallas?
like...
Dallas?
Yeah, yes, Colin.
That didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
It was Velma and Daphne.
What you just said.
He never split up with Daphne?
Oh man, Velma is trending on Twitter. People saying, oh my god, she gay. So,
Wait, it's trending right now?
Yes, right now.
What?
Let me go look.
Anyway, no, I was saying that, yeah, they used to split up on the show, but like when you're doing a half-hour show, it's like maybe 10 minutes of the show. This was just like, for like most of the movie, Daphne, Fred, and Velma are going to be looking for Scooby and Shaggy.
Aww.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted more team stuff. But I mean, we get a pretty good climax with team stuff, so that's cool. All right, Dallas, what's next up on your list?
My next thing, what's my next thing? My next thing is a live-action fairy tale that is only slightly less silly than the old fairy tale cartoons.
And it's a movie?
It is. I didn't know about it until Kayla told me about it. I don't know how many people know about this movie, but
it
has Is it Stardust?
It's not Stardust.
Ever After?
It's not Ever After. I haven't seen that.
No.
Should be.
I have
Ever After isn't silly though. He said it's slightly less silly.
It has silliness, but
it's not very silly. I watched Ever After recently.
Into the Woods?
No.
Oh, then I'm out.
I can just tell you.
I don't know. Yeah, what is it?
Penelope.
I love that movie.
Of course you do.
James McAvoy in that movie, when he sings "You Are My Sunshine," oh, my heart flutters.
James McAvoy's dope. This is a really dope cast.
It is. It truly is.
Christina Ricci, James McAvoy, Peter Dinklage, Reese Witherspoon, who also produced the movie, according to Wikipedia. But yes, it was directed by Mark Polanski and written by Leslie Cavani, one of those. Yeah, Kayla talks about it all the time. And then a few months ago, she felt like watching it, so we did.
It has I can't remember her name right now. Catherine
O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek. She's amazing. She basically plays the same character.
She's the mom,
Schitt's
right?
Creek, except less dumb. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Who
plays the dad?
Richard E. Grant.
Oh, so good. But go on, Dallas.
Yeah, Colin, Demi, do you guys know what this movie's about?
Isn't that the one with the pig?
Thank you. Yes, that was my question.
Yeah, she's a pig nose.
Yeah, that's it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's the thing. She was cursed by a witch, I want to say. Like the family was cursed by a witch.
Yes.
So basically, it's one of those, the curse will be broken when you find true love with one who will accept you as you are, or like as one of their own. So yeah, the parents are like, they're rich. So by one of their own, the parents are like, we have to find another rich person who will like our daughter, even though her nose looks like a pig's nose. But in the context of the movie, having a pig's nose is like having two heads or something. Like everyone sees her and they're like, oh my God, it's a monster, run.
Well, it's because they're like privileged rich boys. Like,
yeah, it's kind of silly because Christina Ricci's still cute. She just
she's cute. She's so much cuter with the nose. Yeah, she's way cuter with the pig's nose, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
well, Gabby,
that kind of tracks, given who you are.
I was gonna say Gabby has a thing for animals.
No.
Oh, okay, that's not. We don't say that.
Gabby, are you gonna defend yourself?
No, I wouldn't say it that
not
way.
A furry. I'm so mad at you, Dallas.
You say, Gabby?
Dallas, you did it. Dallas, you did it. You called it.
Yes.
I'm so mad.
Okay, sorry. Little backstory for the audience.
Stop it! No,
I'm just gonna tell them something because before we recorded, we were waiting for Gabby to come back to the mic, and I was telling Demi, I'm gonna see if I can get Gabby to say I'm not a furry on mic. And then Gabby came back and said, "What are you guys talking about?" And we said, "Don't worry about it."
I'm so mad.
Yes.
We were like, "Don't worry about it. It's podcast stuff."
Yeah.
It myself.
Cool. So now that Gabby has said she's not a furry, I can move on. That's all
to
I
be
need
fair,
to do today.
I gave you the assist with that because I was like, Gabby, are you going to defend yourself? No?
Yes, thank you for that.
She did look cuter with the nose, though, oddly enough. You know what it was? I think it just took up most of her face. So then when it was gone, her face looked like it shrank. And I don't know, man. It wasn't the same.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on.
So mad at you.
I've done what I came to do today.
Gabby, what's next on your list?
I hate you. I'm so upset. On my list, I have The Lovebirds.
Ooh, that was going to be on my next podcast, but I'll talk about it with you now, and I'll just cut it from the next podcast.
Kumail Nanjiani?
Yeah, it's Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae.
Yes, I watched that as part of my romantic movie day. I just watched 3 romance movies back to back on Netflix.
It was great. I loved it so much.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun too. You know what it reminded me of a little bit of Date Night?
I've never seen Date Night.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, not Date Night. Game Night.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking more Date Night.
Yeah, Date Night's the one with Tina Fey, right?
Yeah. And well, actually, I've never seen Date Night, but from what I know about it, it does actually also have a little bit of Date Night.
I was gonna say kind of both because it's both like a couple, running around, hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Issa and Kumail as a couple was like a really interesting combination, but their comedic timing together works really well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Also, Anna Camp is in this movie, and I love Anna Camp, especially when she's playing these really evil Southern women like she does on True Blood. It's so weird. Yes. It's so weird, but she's so good at it, and I kind of want to know why.
I don't know, man.
The movie's really funny. There are cults involved.
There are cults involved. There's hijinks. You know what I like is like the bit where they like first start dating because Kumail Nanjiani is so charming in that. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I know that he's charming because I saw The Big Sick, and dude, I was like swooning in that movie over him. But it's just nice to see it again in like a different context with like a different person.
Yeah, it's weird because I came into it for Issa Rae because I really like Insecure. So it's always really fun to watch Issa play not insecure Issa. Because her character's name on Insecure is Issa.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch her do other comedy stuff where she's not playing a character that she wrote.
Yeah.
She's really good in this movie too. And them together is pretty funny. It's pretty great. But yeah, this movie's kind of wild and out there sometimes.
Yes.
For a rom-com, it's definitely wild and out there. And also, I feel like the marketing really played up the idea that they were supposed to be this happy couple, but they're not.
But yeah, no, they're definitely like in the middle of breaking up when all this goes down.
But also, listen, Kumail's character, I could totally relate because he's a filmmaker in the movie. He makes documentaries and he just like doesn't want anybody to see it until it's ready. And I was like, bro, same. I understand. But yeah, it's a fun rom-com if you guys want to watch a fun rom-com. We've done a couple of those today.
This was interesting to me because I remember when Issa said that Black women should be with Asian men.
Oh my gosh.
And then, she said that in a book. And like there was some stuff about it that was kind of like weirdly racist adjacent to me. And then I remember I was talking about it on Facebook, and then a lot of Issa Rae fans got mad at me. And I was like, hey, I'm not saying anything racist. I'm just quoting something.
Insecure also does an arc about that. I can
imagine.
I think it was like Insecure. I've watched so much content this quarantine that it could just be something else. But I'm pretty sure it was Insecure that kind of brought that up as subject matter. But I could be wrong. I could be talking about something else.
I could see it being Insecure. It seems like that kind of show.
Wait, brought what up?
How Black women should exclusively date Asian men.
I don't think she said exclusively.
Oh.
Well, like
she pointed out that Black women are socially the least desirable of women, and Asian men are the least desirable of men, according to like dating apps and stuff like that, like just data that's been shown. And so Black women and Asian men should date. Oh. That's what she brought up.
But she said not Filipinos because they're like the blacks of Asians.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Glover has also said that.
Yeah, he said the black. I remember this because this got brought up when I posted on Facebook because someone said Donald Glover said that. And I said, yes, but he didn't say don't date Filipinos for that reason.
I think this was a conversation between me and you.
Was it?
I think it was me and you.
I could imagine it being that, but there was, I don't know.
No, I remember it being publicly on Facebook.
It was publicly on Facebook, but I think it was a back and forth comment between.
Oh yeah, I'm sure like in the comments that to me was probably there. And I remember I was like, somebody brought up Donald Glover. That's funny. But yes, I do remember that joke.
Anyway, yes, The Lovebirds. If you like rom-coms, go ahead and check it out.
Yes.
That was your choice, right, Gabby?
Right. That was my choice.
Great. I'm just cutting it off my list for next time. So the day that I said I had a romance movie day, The Lovebirds was the last one that I watched. The first one that I watched that day was To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You. This is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before. It is about Laura Jean and Peter, who have just taken their relationship from pretend to officially official when another recipient of her old love letters, John Ambrose, enters the picture, and it's based on the novel. It's directed by Michael, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Fimonari, and it stars Lana Condor, Noah Centineo, and Jordan Fisher. I love Jordan Fisher. That boy has no right being as charming as he is, and he is so good as John Ambrose in this movie, and I wish that they had used him more in the film. I don't think this movie is as good as the first one. The first one I thought was like lightning in a bottle. It's really, really good. It's like perfect. And then I think the sequel is like tries to live up to it, but does not quite make it. I don't know. I just feel like some of the characters don't feel as proactive in what's going on in the film. They kind of just, it seems like they're all just letting things happen to them. Lana Condor is amazing as well. I love Lana Condor. Just with 2 projects, she has proven to me that she is amazing. And it's with To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Deadly Class. Because those 2 characters are so opposing that I just can't believe it's the same person. I was looking at stuff of her in Deadly Class and could not even believe that this is the same girl in these romance movies. She's so soft and sweet in these films. And she's so good. Like I said, Jordan Fisher is really charming, and the two of them together is kind of magical. Like I was kind of rooting for John Ambrose there. There's also a scene where Jordan Fisher is playing piano and she comes and sits next to him, and apparently Jordan Fisher improvised that song himself that he's playing on the piano. And I just remember that there was an episode of Liv and Maddie where Dove Cameron's character comes and sits next to him on a piano, and they're singing a song together and they nearly kiss at the end. And I was like, so basically, if you sit at the piano with Jordan Fisher, that's it. It's over. You're just, that's the trope. If you sit at a piano with Jordan Fisher, you're going to fall in love with him. That's what happens. But that scene is really great. And then Noah's not in this movie. Well, no, he's in this movie quite a bit. He's not in it as much, obviously, because you have to go back and forth between her time with both boys. But Noah's good, as he often is. He's still just as charming, even though his character is making some dumb mistakes. I like this series of movies. I'm still excited to see the third one and seeing how it all ends up, because they shot 2 and 3 back to back. So now it's,
okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they did. They shot them back to back. So now it's just a waiting game for when 3 comes out. I liked it. It's good. I had fun. Dallas, your turn. I think this is our last one.
Yeah, it's my last one. Last hint, kind of, but not really a hint. A story about an alien that's so annoying it's part of his backstory.
Oh, is that the one with Rihanna?
It is the one with Rihanna.
Yes. What is it called? Home.
Home. It's called Home.
I saw that one in theaters.
Apparently, Almost Home was the working title, which is funny because it was almost made and it was called Almost Home, but then the movie was called Home when it was finished.
I liked that movie.
Home. I didn't.
It's cute.
Yes, it's very cute. I will give it that. It was directed by Tim Johnson, who made Ants, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, and Over the Hedge. And it was written by Tom J. Assel and Matt Ember. And those guys together wrote Get Smart, Epic, and Failure to Launch. So they've got some.
I never saw Epic. I really want to.
It was fun. Like, I saw it. It was really fun. I never saw it again.
That's me with Home.
Fair. I think part of the reason why I didn't enjoy this movie is because we had a movie night a couple of months ago, and somehow this movie got chosen over The Incredibles, and I was like, "What's happening? I don't understand." And I was just,
they wanted to watch A Little Black Girl, Dallas. That's what happened.
They did, because we have a little black girl in the house. They're like representation, and I appreciate that. For Colin and Gabby, have you guys seen this movie?
I have not.
Nope.
Word. So let me tell you what it's about. So on Earth, home, an alien race called the Boov invade the planet. However, a feisty human girl named Gratuity Tucci, her nickname is Tip, she manages to avoid capture and goes on the run with O, a fugitive Boov, and together the two form an unlikely friendship while searching for Tip's mother and avoiding capture from the Boov.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's like an Odd Couple kind of movie.
It's an alien invasion movie, but it's an Odd Couple film.
Yeah, like a buddy comedy with Rihanna and Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory.
I think Rihanna did a really good job in this movie.
Here's the thing about that. Rihanna was good. Like, I think her performance was good. The only thing that bothers me is that I don't think she tried to change her voice at all to sound
No,
unique.
I don't think she did.
So it's like, when you're as famous as Rihanna for music, if I hear Rihanna, I'm just hearing Rihanna. So when you tell me this girl is 12, I'm like, no, she's not. She's Rihanna.
I mean, that's how I feel about Beyonce playing Nala.
Same, but like, it's like, okay, you're a lion, so lions don't even talk. We're past the realm of possibility here. I don't have to. If I'm gonna suspend my belief enough for a lion to talk, I'm not gonna worry about what the lion sounds like. But when I'm just looking at a human person, they're like, "Oh, this is a 12-year-old girl." I'm like, "This is not a 12-year-old girl. This woman recorded S&M. This is Rihanna. It's not a child."
Yeah, I think she sounds very much like herself in that film. I think she tries to make her voice a little higher pitched, though. I don't remember. I haven't seen it since it was in theaters.
Yeah, to me, it just sounded like all of Rihanna's music.
But I think that because I like her performance enough, I can get over it.
Yeah, it's not enough that like it makes me like the movie less. It's just distracting.
Like, honestly, it might be Rihanna's best film performance so far.
I'm trying to think of Rihanna's film performances. She was in Battleship, but I didn't see that.
She was in Ocean's 8.
Oh, I didn't see that. Dang, have I seen any Rihanna movies?
This is the only one?
I mean, maybe I guess it's Home. Also, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about him is, as a person, I don't know Jim Parsons. I think he's probably a nice guy. I just hate the Big Bang Theory so much.
Me too.
Especially his character, that I'm inherently annoyed when I hear his voice. And that's not his fault. He's done nothing to me.
I like him in Hidden Figures. He's a racist in Hidden Figures, though.
Ooh,
I don't like his character per se.
You had me in the first half to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, to be fair, it's Hidden Figures. Like most of the white people in that movie are racist.
Yeah, it's just like you said. I like him, and I was like, "Oh, is he nice?" And he's a racist. Oh, okay.
I like his performance in that movie.
Got it.
And for once, he's not playing like he's annoying, but in a different way.
Okay, he's not like Sheldon annoying.
Yeah, I feel like Sheldon and O are the same kind of annoying.
Fair. Well, I don't know. O is really nice. That's his
O
whole
is
thing.
very
like,
nice.
He comes from a species of people who don't really do like friendship and camaraderie very much, but he wants to be friends with everybody. Sheldon is just kind of pretentious and annoying.
That's fair.
But
I think it's the way that he performs those two characters very similarly, though.
Yeah, like the vocal, like the inflections and the way he speaks is very similar.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that in Hidden Figures.
Yeah, so it's like.
But I like him in Home, though. I've also never seen The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, good. Don't do that.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never like watched it all the way through.
I think I've seen like 6 seasons.
Said you've seen 6 seasons?
Yeah.
How do you get through 6 seasons of a show you don't like?
I don't know.
What?
I used to just watch sitcoms a lot, and then I realized I hate sitcoms. Well, I don't hate them. I just really don't like them.
I was going to say that's really upsetting because sitcoms are great sometimes.
I mean,
sometimes.
I don't think you dislike sitcoms inherently. You like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, that's a sitcom.
Yeah, I meant like one of those like the sitcom where it's like on a soundstage.
The multicam laugh track.
Yeah. But Baby Daddy's great.
I haven't seen Baby Daddy.
Oh, I would recommend it. Baby Daddy's great.
Okay, I don't.
Plus, you can stare at Derek Thaler.
Which one is he?
He's the older brother, the one that I had for Hercules.
The giant man.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe that one.
Anyway, Home. We're talking about Home.
Yes, Home is cute, but I wasn't super interested. And also, I was just thinking, shut up, Sheldon. But like I said, that's not his fault. It's Big Bang Theory's fault. But Demi likes it, so that's good.
I do like it. I took Devin and my mom to see it when it first came out. I thought it was cute. It's on Netflix right now, isn't it?
For kids. We watched it on, I want to say Prime.
I think it's on one of the streaming services. I just don't remember which one.
But yeah, definitely a good one for the kids. If you have kids, especially little black girls who want to see themselves on screen, I would recommend it. Whose turn is it? Gabby's turn? I can't believe she watched 6 seasons of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I know, me either.
Gabby, what's next on your list?
The last one on my list is, I want to get the name right. It is Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga.
Oh my gosh, you watched that movie?
It's
Will Ferrell and Amy Adams.
Rachel McAdams.
So funny.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Right. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so funny, you guys. It's so great. I've never seen the Eurovision Song Contest, but a lot of people.
I think Colin's seen one.
I've seen multiple. It's why I didn't watch this movie because A, I don't like Will Ferrell, and B, it just felt like, why would I watch this when I could watch Eurovision? But that's beside the point.
But they canceled the contest this year.
I mean, yeah, but like it will continue next year. It's not dead.
That's true. So originally this movie was supposed to be released concurrently with the Eurovision Song Contest. But since it was canceled this year, the movie was postponed to June.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. There's original songs. They're very catchy. There are a plethora of cameos of people that have competed in the past or won the Eurovision Song Contest. It's so funny. I did not think I was going to think this movie was funny because lately I just haven't really thought that Will Ferrell's movies were that funny. But this one is it's just like a slapstick joy. Oh, it's so good. It's so ridiculous. I love it so much. So the concept is this. There is a man from Iceland, and it is his like dream to compete in the Eurovision Song Contest. Through a series of events that I don't want to ruin, he and his bandmate make it to the contest, and nobody from Iceland wants them to go. And everybody at the contest is making fun of them. His bandmate is played by Rachel McAdams. And she starts getting courted by this Russian singer who's played by Dan Stevens. Just hijinks and hilarity ensue. It's so funny.
Yeah. I remember after that movie came out, a lot of people were talking about how Rachel McAdams is comedy gold, but we never really acknowledge her for it.
Yeah, dude. She's hilarious.
She's like Rose Byrne in that.
Yes.
Super funny, but we don't really think of her as like a comedic actress for some reason.
Nope.
Yeah, she's been making us laugh since like Mean Girls, guys. Like,
yeah,
and no, since the hot chick.
That's right. I forgot about the hot chick.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. That's so true.
It's just so funny. Like I didn't think it was gonna be good, but it's hilarious. And the reason that this movie got made is Will Ferrell's wife is Swedish, and she introduced him to the Eurovision Song Contest, and he loves it. So he's always wanted to make a movie about that.
Nice.
Also, Pierce Brosnan plays his dad, and they have accents the whole time, and they're Will Ferrell's accent's really bad, but Rachel McAdams isn't.
Because it's Rachel McAdams.
Yeah. It's so good. It's just a really funny movie. It brought so much joy and heart and like light to my life last month. So I just do really recommend it. It's ridiculous. And
Will Ferrell's name is just popping up on things I would not anticipate. Like, he's a producer on Motherland, which is something I'll talk about next episode. But yeah, when I tell you what Motherland is about, you're going to be like, what do you mean Will Ferrell produced this?
That's always fun. Yeah,
the Eurovision Song Contest, man. You guys got to watch it. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's like you know how the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, or like what was the name of that movie?
Yeah, something like that.
Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Talladega Nights. There you go, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. It's along that level.
It looks like it would be.
It's silly but amazing.
It looks ridiculous.
It is. It really is. It's so funny. Just like expect like slapstick Will Ferrell comedy, and you'll have a great time. Don't expect highbrow stuff here. No highbrow. Just.
I definitely would not expect that.
Fair.
To me, what's finishing your list for today?
All right. Hopefully Colin will join me in discussing this, but he might not. But on my romance movie day, before I watched The Lovebirds, but after I watched To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You, I watched The Half of It. The Half of It is about a shy, introverted Chinese-American straight-A student who finds herself helping the school jock woo the girl they both secretly love. In the process, each teaches the other about the nature of love as they find connection in the most unlikely of places. The story is very similar to Cyrano de Bergerac, which I really love stories that are kind of based around that story, even though I've never read the original. It's directed by Alice Wu, and it stars Leah Lewis, Daniel Diemer, Alexis Lemire, Wolfgang Novogratz, and Colin Chow. I really enjoyed this movie. You should. And the only reason I don't say that I had a rom-com day is because this movie is not a rom-com. It's a really good teen romance movie. And I think what makes it even better is that the romance is more between these two friends, which I really enjoy. And just them coming to this understanding of one another and overcoming the things that would say that you shouldn't be friends with one another and being friends all the same. It's just a really good movie, and it feels like one of those teen movies that actually is trying to say something. It's on Netflix. I had a romance on Netflix day.
Yes, you did.
I did. Actually, I just realized like 3 out of the 5 films that I talked about today were romance films, which is weird because I don't watch a lot of romance movies. But yeah, The Half of It's really good. Leah Lewis is incredible in this movie, and so is Daniel Diemer. Actually, the two of them are the two leads of the film. You follow them throughout the entirety of it. Their characters are so different, and Leah Lewis just does a fantastic job with this character who's very reserved and keeps to herself and doesn't really want to let people in. And Daniel plays Colin. Would you call him a himbo?
Oh, 100%.
He's a himbo, and he is the sweetest, cutest thing, and he really like I said, he's a himbo. He's kind of dumb, and just you really want to root for this guy, and you want him to like get the things that he wants, and you want them to be friends because he's such a nice and friendly guy. But also, like, they're in love with the same girl, so like that's a thing.
Like Usher and R. Kelly.
Stop it. It's not. That's not the same thing at all.
You can't say the song. You can't say same girl, and I don't think of the song.
Oh gosh,
no, it's not the same girl though because it's twins in that song. See, it doesn't apply.
Oh right, the plot twist.
Yeah,
plot twist. The love interest played by Alexis Lemire is there's a very cool, kind of hot because they're in a spring scene between her character and Leah Lewis's character, and I think it's just really interesting and very sweet. Also, they have a really great scene at the end of the movie too, where they, just watch the film. I don't want to spoil it. I think it's just a really good romance film, and I think it says a lot about friendship and about who we are as people and going after what you want in life. Colin, do you have anything to say about it? Because I know you've seen it. You saw it before I did.
To be honest, I don't remember it because I saw it the day it came out. So like, my memory is terrible. I remember I liked it a lot, but that's about
true.
all I remember.
I only remembered to watch it because you had posted something about it on Tumblr, and I was like, oh, that's right. That movie came out. Let me go watch it.
Colin won't let me follow him on Tumblr.
I've been following him since I made my Tumblr, so I don't think he cares at this point. We just don't bother each other, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, the half of it, that's the last movie on my list. Check it out. I think it's really, really good. And I also really like the way that it was shot. Yay.
Yay.
Woo. That's the end of our list, guys. Thanks for tuning in for this quarantine watch. And we will be having another one pretty soon because quarantine has been a long time and we have long lists.
And it's still going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Wear your masks.
It's not going to end for a while.
Nope, because some people are dumb.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Thanks for listening to all that. Let us know what you've been watching. Give us recommendations. Like we just said, quarantine's going to be on for a while because,
it's a group project and everybody doesn't want to do their part.
Exactly.
Right?
So many people don't want to do their part. They'd rather we just die. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and I, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Demi, for editing and taking us through that journey of our Hanna-Barbera childhood, except for Colin, because he didn't watch this. Thank you, Colin, for going on this ride with us, even though you didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Maybe he'll say something when I bring up Motherland next time.
Maybe.
I hope so.
We'll
I want somebody to talk to about it.
Find out next time, audience. Thanks again to Gabby for telling the audience she is not a furry.
So mad at you.
You did it. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I was... never mind. I'm not going to make the joke.
I am not a furry.
She said it twice.
She did. She said it twice.
Stop it.
Okay, you know what, Gabby?
Yes.
Listen, I didn't make up the expression, but you are kind of feeling like, in a way, the girl who cried wolf.
Ah. Wolf.
The lady doth protest too much.
Wolves.
No.
Furries. Gabby.
I'm not.
Anyway, if you want to share recommendations with us or ask Gabby if she actually is a furry, you can find us on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast. And you can find us on Facebook by just searching for Creative Differences. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba.
You can find me, Gabby, on Instagrams at Stegosaurus.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thanks again for listening.
It's been different.
Bye.